Check this out. Just like we were hoping. Big buck track. Heading right for water. Looks good. Few tracks around it. Means they're still using this trail in here. Today we are going to add a water hole to one of our hunting setups here on this 20 acres. We are in just a thick mess here, and we're not actually not too far from the house we're going to live in. We have this dense cover, and we're going to clear some shooting lanes to a food plot, and now we're going to add a water hole down in here somewhere. There's actually an internal trail in the woods here that kind of goes to the north boundary of the property, and it hits the inside corner, and then we have a lot of movement that kind of comes right in here. So we're going to add the water hole in the shady spot inside the woods here, and we'll have a mock scrape out 25 yards into that food plot that way. But really, we're hoping to hold a little bit of water in here. You can't see it now. It's a mess. We're going to clean it up just a little bit, and hopefully we'll be hunting over. All right, so we found the spot we want to set up here. The stand is probably 15 to 20 yards that we were just in. We're going to knock down basically this tree and that tree right there. Get that out of the way. And that one we might actually hinge cut over. It'll act as better access. It'll just kind of block that sight into here. We're going to set it up right in here. As you can see, there's this main trail on the inside edge of this field. It's going to be a good little spot. And we're going to use this natural blocking right here. We're going to add to that when we cut a couple of these trees out. And we're going to try to force them to come around this big tree right here. And so they have to kind of come into this spot right here. And this bin, this water hole is going to sit kind of right where the shovel is. So the hope is they're going to come in here pretty close to broadside to the stand. That's the theory anyway. So we're kind of putting that cover in nasty stuff right here. So they have to naturally come in this direction. And that should give us a nice shot. And if you can't get the right shot, if they're quartering to or it's just not the right angle, now you got time to get ready. And when they do start coming back down the trail, you got a nice shot. So that's our theory. That's where we're going to set up. We're going to start digging. Here we go. All right, it is getting there. We started with at least the layout. We're a few inches deep everywhere, getting through roots a little bit. So the big reason we're putting it in the woods in the shade is so we can keep it out of the direct sunlight, and that's going to help us keep the water in there. We might have to fill it up here to start, but that's fine. I think it'll be so much better if it's in the woods like this. Keeps the sun from evaporating too much of the water, so you kind of keep water in here. What we don't want to do is have to come back in here and keep filling it. So we know we'll get some rain. It'll fill this up. We're gonna start with a full one, and the hope is that we don't keep coming back in here. We don't want to really touch this during season at very minimum if we can avoid it. So that's our plan. The other negative here for putting it in the woods, hard to dig. You got roots everywhere, a lot more bugs, but it's going to be such a better spot. So I'm not putting this directly on the trail. I'm putting it kind of adjacent to it here. It's kind of a little intersection in here of movement and it's a little bit more open in here, so we don't have to cut quite as much. But it's really buggy. I want to get this done, so here we go. Okay, we got her pretty close now. As you can see, there's dirt around the sides. We're gonna have to dig deeper. We want to get this somewhat below or flush with the main ground. A lot of these water holes that I've seen people put in keep them raised up, and I don't know. I just think we want to keep this seeming as natural as possible, so we don't want some weird plastic things sticking on the ground everywhere. But not too bad. So we had set up that little water hole. We never came back and put water in it yet, mainly because we weren't quite done, and we had some massive rains coming and just wanted to see if it'd fill up with anything. Wow, big. I mean, it's ready. It's ready. It's completely natural. Oh my God.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the Lord.